We're live everywhere. Susie, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenida. Qué gusto tenerte aquí. Everybody on YouTube, hello. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow, what an extraordinary week this has been. For starters, my mom had an emergency and she is recovering nicely. So thank God for that. Thank the doctors. Thank everybody at the hospital that were amazing. And thank my angels and hers for taking care of her, because one of the most frustrating, exasperating things is to not be able to hop on a plane and go home when you need to. And so it brings home the price that we pay for decisions that we make in our lives, right? I made a decision to go live abroad, and this is one of the consequences. I don't like it. Hi, Stacia. I don't like it at all. And yet here we are. So anyway, today's theme came out of speaking actually with Stacia. We were having a conversation, and as I was speaking, it became so clear in the moment. Have you had those aha moments where like everything just falls into place? And I had always questioned why people say the rich get rich and the poor get poorer, and the chasm is getting ever so wide apart and so spread out. I've had coaches telling me for a long time that we have to hurry up and make money, because otherwise the chasm is going to get so large that we'll never be able to cross over. And today I'm going to challenge everything, because that's what I like to do, and because that aha moment was so clear and so aligned with everything that I do when I believe that there comes a point where if everything is clear for you and aligned, then it just works. It doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody else, but if it works for you, then that's amazing. So I'm going to share some of these thought processes, and maybe you'll be able to align with them and understand that everything is possible. So here we go. As far as I've learned and known and experienced, our dominant thoughts create our reality, right? The thing you think of the most creates your reality. And all we have to do is look at what's showing up in our lives to know what our dominant thoughts are. If we are living in lack and scarcity, then what are we thinking? Go back and notice, what am I thinking about? What am I feeling? Because we tend to forget the feelings. We tend to ignore the body. We live from the neck up. We live in our minds and looking outside for all the answers. Sometimes that's not how it works. So if we are continuously worried about money, concerned about our health, worried about things, and living in constant fear, we're activating one side of our nervous system continuously. So we get out of homeostasis. We completely get out of balance. Now, I'm also not a proponent of balance. I believe that balance happens once in a while. We'll get into some balance and then things just keep moving again. There's never we cannot be striving for balance, because then we'll always be frustrated, because we'll reach the point of balance, then it'll immediately go out of balance again. Because I believe in harmony. I believe in a dance of things happening, and it can't just stand still, because if it stands still, that means we've stopped. And if we've stopped, we're probably dead. But we're not going to go there today. We're going to go back to the fact that whatever is showing up in our lives is whatever reflection of our dominant thoughts. So if we're constantly in fear and worry, what is showing up? If you're constantly feeling happy and joyful and abundance, what is showing up in your life? Now, here's the thing. We can't stop at thoughts and just analyzing our thoughts, because where do our thoughts come from? First of all, they come from the ether, but they are based on our set of beliefs. Thank you, Stacia. I love the hearts. I'm getting lots of hearts over there on Facebook. So these thoughts come from what we believe. But here's the catch in all of this. Do we know what we believe? Do we believe thoughts that are constructive, supportive of us? Or do we believe thoughts that are making us feel lousy about ourselves, lousy about the situations that are happening, lousy about our lives, lousy about whatever is going on the outside, and feeling bad? Are we believing that people on the outside of us have all the answers, and then if they give us the wrong, what we believe to be the wrong answer, then we feel badly, and then we begin to create a vicious cycle of beliefs that are not necessarily ours. Now, there's different sets of beliefs. I speak of that often. And when we're born, we are born into a construct, a set of beliefs that comes from the society that we are living in, that come from the country we are born into, that come from the state we're born into, that come from the family that we are born into, that come from the gender, if we're male, female, or whatever else. It comes from the legacy of our ancestors that keeps jumping from and getting passed down generation to generation. And a lot of these beliefs are obsolete for us. Yet we don't know that they're there. And if we do know that they're there, we feel like, well, it's tradition, and that's how my family thinks, and that's how my political party thinks, and that's how my cousin thinks, and that's how my friend thinks, and that's how and we begin to adapt, adjust, and literally pretzel ourselves and twist ourselves and try to shove ourselves into sets of beliefs that don't necessarily work for us. And then we wonder why we feel stuck. And then we wonder why there are so many rampant cases of depression. We buy into these stories, and then we start living from them. And it is not necessarily in our best interest. So in order to create a new reality, we need to install a new set of beliefs. But in order to do that, we need to kind of erase the current beliefs that don't serve us. How do you do that? Well, you can do it the easy way, you can do it the hard way. And the hard way doesn't necessarily even work sometimes. The hard way is conscious repetition of a new set of beliefs without even trying to erase, delete, or release. There's different also levels of ease of how to handle the current sets of beliefs. So conscious repetition of mantras, of affirmations, and they usually don't work unless we're already aligned to those mantras. Let me explain with a very tangible example. If you go on repeating, I am a millionaire, I find my soulmate, I am joyful and happy, and there's a little voice inside of you saying, no, you don't. No, you're not. Who do you think you are? You're not worthy. A bunch of beliefs that are actually almost pretty much generational, and they're going across the board at the moment, where there's a lot of feelings of, yeah, hi, Leslie, welcome. Yes, you cannot repeat a mantra if there's a part of you or your body doesn't feel good. If you're saying, oh yeah, I earn, $100,000 per month, and you're not doing it, and there's something inside of you that goes, yeah, like this, and you're feeling horrible, there's a disconnect, there's a misalignment of things. And so people want to just, I'm going to become a millionaire, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire. And there's something inside of you feeling completely stuck, completely at a wrench, or feeling that, okay, I'm going to become an actor, I'm going to be a singer, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I'm going to be a coach, I'm going to be whatever it is that we have our dream. And if we are not in alignment with it, there is no way we're going to do it. And if we do, it's going to be exhausting. It's going to be a struggle. And okay. And so that becomes a struggle. So what we need to do is literally come into alignment. Now, there's an easy way of coming into alignment, and that is through subconscious programming and using sound. Sound is like a magical thing. It is based on science. It has been proven to work. Sound is, well, you've heard of ultrasounds, right? It's super high vibrating frequency waves that are sent into the body, and then they get a response back, and then they create an image. And that is based on a science called cymatics, right? Cymatics is the visual representation of sound. So for example, I have this drum and I sing into it. And it's not really a drum, but I created this thing out of latex, and I created a surface that vibrates. So I'm singing into this pipe, this latex vibrates, I put sand on it, and it creates these images. It creates fractals, it creates flowers, it creates people embracing, depending on the tone that I'm singing. And you can do that experiment at home. Everybody's voice has a certain imprint and a certain frequency, and that creates certain things. And they all match. If you sing a note, you're going to get this imprint. And if you sing another note, you're going to get a different imprint. And if you go back to the note, that sand is going to come right back to where that note was. And it's almost a magical experience. And so when we begin to use sound, subconscious reprogramming, we can more easily get rid of the things, or not get rid of, but just completely let go, surrender, release the things that no longer serve us or that are not in alignment with us. A lot of things can be in alignment with us now that won't be in alignment in the future, and that haven't been in alignment in the past, because we are continuously evolving. Now, if we take into consideration that every 7 years, our bodies are completely new. Every single cell of our bodies is new every 7 years. Then it stands to reason that maybe something that worked 7 years ago is not going to work now, depending on the journey we decide to embark on. Now, in order to create a new reality, I believe that there are 3 things that are basic that we need to practice and have or embody that will create a change and will create the reality that we choose to have. Now, the first thing that I talk about is decision. Decision is cutting it comes from the word decidere, cutting out all other options. So basically, you make a decision to do one thing or to have one thing, and that's it. You decided. There's no other options. There is no plan B. When people go, okay, well, study that because you love it, but have a plan B just in case it doesn't work. What do you think is going to happen? So no plan B. The next thing, persistence. Some people call me stubborn. I like to call it persistence. Showing up every day with the same decision, with the same choice, and going forth until it happens, where you say, well, I'm going to die trying. That's it. This is what I'm doing, and that's it. I remember very, very clearly the day I decided I was going to become an actor when I was older, the second time around. I was met with, first of all, lots of resistance, lots of criticism. And I've learned since that the size of the resistance is relative to the size, proportionate to the size of your dream. So if you have a huge dream and you're meeting huge resistance, then you're on the right track. If there's little resistance, maybe your dream is not big enough. And so I remember thinking, okay, this is it for me. This is my chance. I have this opportunity. It's presented itself. I'm going to take this opportunity, because if I don't, I do not want to get to 60 years old and think I shoulda, coulda, woulda, and have regrets. And there's a book, the 100 Regrets of the Dying or something like that. It's a book that was written of this person, this author, who interviewed a bunch of people who were close to their dying days and found that the thing that they had most were regrets of things they didn't try, not of the thing that they tried and failed. So in my life, one of my biggest beliefs is that I would like to die with 0 regrets. So in my life, I just go by 0 regrets. And every decision I make is like, will I regret having tried that? Will I regret not having tried that? If I put myself in the future and look back, will I think, oh man, I shoulda, coulda, woulda? Because shoulda, coulda, woulda doesn't exist. Either it's like Yoda, right? You do or do not. And like, there's no try. And here's the thing. When you believe that, okay, well, I'm going to try, it's something it speaks to my heart. It's something that makes me come alive. And So I went for it. And people would tell me, oh my God, at your age, I'm gonna hire you. Are you crazy? You never get hired. So when people come to me and tell me, oh no, I'm too old, nobody will give me a job, that is hogwash. And if you choose to believe that, that is that's a dominant belief in Mexico. A dominant belief in Mexico. My girlfriends, my women friends are like, nobody's gonna hire me. I'm like 45. Who will hire me? Who will give me a job? I'm like 50. Nobody in their right mind will hire me. They're only hiring 20-year-olds. And that is hogwash. And we can create our own opportunities, but we won't unless we believe that we can. And so at this point, I was 38. So the response was, you're not even that pretty. Who's going to hire you? Blah, 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 blah. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to get to 60 and think, oh my God, I could have done it, but I didn't. I could have tried it, but I chickened out. And truthfully, I would have looked back in my life and thought, ugh, I didn't have the guts to at least try. And I thought, I'm trying it. I'm doing it. The worst thing that I already have a no. The worst thing that can happen is it didn't work out. Then I'll go try something else. And guess what? Within a year and a half, I had already appeared in over 50, not 15, 50 commercials, all principal. I didn't know what it was to be an extra. I didn't care what it was to be an extra. I didn't want to find out. I liked being principal. I liked being the star of the show. And I did it. And within a year and a half of doing that, I got my chance to audition for my first soap. And I got the job. And after the first one, I was given a contract because it was more expensive for them to hire me per episode than give me a contract. And they wanted me. And it was the most amazing experience. And I will go to my grave knowing that I tried and I succeeded. And that is one of the things that is so important, is to give our brain wins. Little wins, medium-sized wins, huge wins. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, Stacia. Hi, Sharon. And giving your brain wins is going to begin to change your mindset. The third thing we need is certainty. Leave no room for doubt. When I went for this thing, I wasn't thinking whether I was going to succeed, or whether I was going to fail. I was doing it. It was a neutral feeling. There was no, I'm going to make it, I'm going to fail. There was nothing of the sort. It was like, this is what I'm doing. And that's that. And every audition I went to and I go to this day, I enjoy it for the love of the audition, because that is 90% of the work. I am like, the majority of my life is auditioning. And the majority of my life is people telling me no. Okay? But then when the yes comes, it tastes so good. And then you enjoy the time when you've been said yes to. And you've accepted, and you're valued, and you get the chance to do your craft and shine and do what you love. But every part of it has to be loved, because there's so much of it that is just the preparation, the auditioning, the everything else. And then the time you actually do it, it's like when you get married, right? You plan, some people spend years planning their weddings. And then it's that one day, and it's that 1 hour, and then it's 3 hours, and then it's poof, it's done. And people who spend the entire time prepping for their wedding and not enjoying it and waiting for the day of the wedding to actually calm down and enjoy are the ones that have the most regrets, because they didn't enjoy the process, and because the process was so much longer that they could have had this so much more enjoyment out of it. Same thing with vacation. Like when I plan a vacation, the minute I start dreaming about where I want to go, that's when my enjoyment process starts, because the vacation goes by so fast that you better start enjoying it from the time that you plan it, because then it's just, you can extend the enjoyment. So we have decision, we have persistence, we have certainty, leaving no room for doubt. And here's the clincher. The people who have the rich mindset are stressless. In terms of the mindset, it doesn't mean they don't experience stress or all the other feelings that humans do, okay? So just basically on the mindset, it is based on having or being rich. It's a stressless thing. It's just, it's that neutrality that I'm talking about. It's like matter of fact. It is not a surprise. It just flows. You have ease, you have grace, and you are vibrating at a frequency of rich. And it feels in the body, it's just like, it is what, that's it. There's not even that, you can't feel good about it, but there you're going to be feeling good, you're going to be feeling bad, you're going to be feeling regular. But there's this knowing that is beyond any feeling. It's that thing that goes way deeper when you just know. Have you had those times when you just, something you just know, right? And nobody can tell you different, and then things happen that way because you just knew that that was so. And it's the same way with your rich mindset. It's almost like a neutral thing, complete 100% knowing of it. And I can tell you that, for example, in my family, when I was growing up, my parents, we lived in my family, we lived a very, very rich life, a very rich experience beyond any money that my parents had. Beyond that, we had a rich and abundant, prosperous life. And it has been amazing. My parents have a rich and prosperous mentality. The poor mindset, the people who are poor are usually stressed, out of control. Their life is full of surprises, usually not good. They have drastic highs and drastic lows, and there's a lot of struggle. They have a very low vibration and an overwhelming sense of doom and gloom and negativity, and it feels awful in their minds and in their bodies. It doesn't even go beyond, because it gets stuck at that level of angst of, my God, every time you open a bill, every time you think of, oh my God, am I going to be able to pay the rent this month? Or am I going to have the work that will provide? And that begins to create a cycle that brings with it an opening for illness, for dis-ease, right? It's a dis-easeful state, because it all begins in the mind. It all begins how it translates into the body, and that feeling of malaise, that it's like, ugh, or stuckness, right? And that is the poor mindset. And what happens, you get something that happens badly, and if you have the belief that bad things come in threes, which is hogwash, then the first thing that happens, you'll start looking for the other two until they happen. If you go around thinking, oh, well, it was just a bad moment, and it doesn't have to be an entire ruined day. I can change in the moment and say, well, the next hour doesn't have to be that way. And we turn that frown upside down and we start vibrating at this rich mindset, then we begin to get through the obstacles very, very quickly. I hope that made sense. I hope you can start practicing that in your life and begin to choose to have a rich mindset, that knowing that everything is possible, and that once you've made a decision to have a rich mindset without any other options, then there comes a level of peace and knowing this is what I've decided, this is what I'm doing, and that's it. Then persist. Do not give up. Do not give up 3 feet from gold. Right when you're going to get to the reward, when things start looking the worst, is when you're probably the closest to your goal. And then act with certainty. Leave no room for doubt. If any little bit of doubt starts sneaking in, squash it any way you can, either by meditating, either by praying, either by asking a friend to believe with you, because when two people get together and believe together, there's always 100% belief. So sometimes when I'm like, feel like I'm faltering in my belief, I will call a friend and say, can you please believe with me? Believe in this with me, because I need 100% belief at all times. And I am faltering. I feel that I'm not at 100%. And then my friend can believe, because there's no emotional investment in my dream. So it's easier for my friend to believe, yeah, I'll believe for you. You can do it. Usually your friends, if you have made a right choice and found your 5, right? Because we are the average of 5 people close to us. So if you've done a good job of picking your friends, you're going to have that friend that's going to believe with you, be your cheerleader, and will believe 1,000%, so that even if you're at 0, you'll have that certainty and no doubt coming from your friend, and that puts that energy in it. So remember, pick your 5 as well. So if you'd like to have someone who will be your cheerleader, who believe in you 1,000%, that could be me, if you like the way I operate. And I have a curriculum that will help you create that mindset and let go of your beliefs that no longer serve you without any stress and struggle. My mantra is actually no pain, all gain. I've had a lot of pain in my life, and I've chosen to not have as much of it. Or if I can eliminate it altogether, that would be best. So my curriculum is based on how can we have more ease, more flow, more grace, more control and ability to make our choices and to be the captain of our vessels, right? We have this body, we have this life, and how can we become the captain? How can we make the choices? How can we design our lives and create these dominant beliefs, so that whatever is a life full of synchronicities that you can attribute to coincidence, or you can realize, ooh, it's working. I'm starting in a couple of weeks my Sync Learning program that I haven't done in a while. It's a whole revamped program. Instead of it being 1 day of learning how to speed read, we're going to have 1 full day, and then we're going to have 3 other days when we're going to really hone in and make sure that this new habit is completely, fully assimilated, and you can begin to not only have a new habit of reading at the speed of thought in your life, but the side effects that come from that, the side effects of syncing your brain hemispheres and having reality literally explode in front of your eyes in the most amazing way. So we're going to have Sync Learning. Then we're having our Focus and Concentration course, which is the magic sauce for any manifestation, our ability to focus and concentrate. Did you know that goldfish can concentrate for 9 seconds? Did you know that humans can't even get there sometimes? So we're going to be a lot better than a goldfish when we're done with this course. And right now we are going through our meditation and transformation course, still working on that name. And it is starting to become really mind-blowing. Thank you, Stacia. That made so much sense. Exactly. Thank you so much. Here we go. Go ahead. If you've never been here before, this is what we do. We do a little sound bath at the end so we can calm our, soothe our nervous system. It's like a nervous system sonic massage. And we can put our feet flat on the floor, make contact with the floor, start wiggling your toes. That brings a lot more of you into your body. Place your palms facing up on your thighs. And we're going to do 3 to 6 cleansing breaths, which consist of inhaling through your nose, holding for 1 or 2 counts, whatever feels natural and organic, and then releasing with a big sigh. Letting go of any worry, any angst, any idea of struggle or stress or limitation in your life. And when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. Keep doing your breaths. When you're ready, wiggle your toes. Take a deep cleansing breath. Let it all go. Allow your nervous system to calibrate to this new frequency. You are now vibrating at the frequency of love. When you're ready, open your eyes, do a little shake. Clear, hi, welcome. Shake it out and come back. Philip, oh my God, Philip Borda. Natasha, you came to my thoughts in the meditation. I was thinking of you. I'm like, I wonder where Natasha is. I miss you. Good to have you here. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Sound Bath Sundays. Hola, Marta. And get ready. We're starting with a new courses, a whole new explosion of things happening. It's wonderful. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. In 2 weeks, August 1st, you'll see on my post, I'm going to be speaking at the Best You Expo. Woo-hoo! So I would love for you guys to show up there. I'm going to put the invite on. I don't know. I think tickets are like $10 or $15. I can't remember, for the entire week of amazing speakers. I think they're having Dean Graziosi to the main stage among many other amazing speakers. And I'm going to be speaking there along with Dr. Faye Wilson as well. Hi, Natasha. Yes, Dr. Faye Wilson's going to be there speaking. I'm going to be speaking. Oh my gosh, it's actually happening, people. I'm very excited. And can you believe I almost forgot to let you know? Anyway, I am I'm going to post a GIF of me going like, it is so exciting. I'm going to be speaking there. And then in the UK version of this, in I think it's January or February. So I can't wait. And I'll be posting more on that. So you can just show up there. I'm going to have a booth there. You can come and visit. We can talk and chat. And anyway, I love you so much. And I will see you next week. My Facebook people, hold on. Let me say bye to my YouTube friends. I love you. Take care. And I'll see you next week.